Jamie and I met when we were both in grad school, and I was studying sacred music and he was studying physics, and we just met through mutual friends. And I think one thing that drew us together was our love of music.
The first conversation we had was actually a party that she held on the feast of Saint Cecilia, who's the patroness of musicians. But we hit it off, and we ended up, the end of the night, everyone went out for karaoke. And then when I left, I had a good walk back home, and I realized, hey, she sent her phone number as part of the invite to the event. I'm gonna give her a call. And we chatted and ended up talking for 3 or 4 hours.
Both of us were impressed with each other's performances, and then I think that led to, in the future, he invited me to do an open mic night with him and a friend, and I invited him to help me with an Our Lady of Guadalupe service. And we just started playing music together, and it just felt really special. When Jamie proposed, it was a surprise, even though I should have seen it coming. So we walked by this little fountain, and he got down on one knee, and I think he said, "Nicole, I love you so much. Will you be the mother to my children?" And he showed me the ring, and then I believed him, so I said yes.
And the big thing, I think, was that we had a very compatible vision for life. We wanted the same things out of life. We had the same values. Nicole came from a family of 9. I came from a family of 4.
I came from a big family myself. I think when my siblings are together, it's like the happiest times. So I knew that I wanted to have a big family, but I didn't know if I would be able to have kids or not. And I definitely didn't know that I would be having them so closely spaced, so I didn't think I would be able to have this many. I've gotten a variety of reactions about our family size and how closely spaced they are, and some of them have been negative and hurtful.
The daily mass crowd really appreciates our children and enjoys them. So we get a lot of positive support and encouragement from our church community. Outside that, it's a lot of confusion. A lot of people kind of counting. You can see they're counting, and then my wife is generally pregnant, so then they're counting, and then they see the pregnant wife, the pregnant belly, and that puts them over the edge. And
then to really positive reactions and telling us, oh, you're so lucky, you're so blessed, like they're so wonderful, they're so sweet. Or my favorite one of all time is when someone, after we just had our 6th child, someone said, "Wow, that is the start of a really beautiful family." Much to be positive and to see the good and to to be happy and joyful, even when it's not very easy.
Antonelli, as our family name, comes from Anthony, the same sort of derivative. So it always been something special to my family. But we were on our honeymoon, and we started a cruise from the city of Venice, and that there was a big basilica dedicated to him there. And we go to his tomb, which is this beautiful marble tomb, and it's just plastered with hundreds of pictures of babies. There's a little plaque explaining that he's one of the patron saints of couples trying to conceive and of infertility. And so at this point, we've been married 8 or 9 months, and we're trying to become parents, but not having any luck.
In high school, I was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is one of the leading causes of infertility in women. And my doctor even told me, you'll have a hard time conceiving if you're able to.
So, we knelt and said a prayer and said, St. Anthony, please bless us with a child. And then the next month, sure enough, we were pregnant with Madeline. And it's funny, we actually had made an appointment with a doctor to start getting consultations about infertility treatments. But in the meantime, we got pregnant, have our first prenatal appointment when it was meant to be an appointment for infertility treatments. Being a father is amazing. It really, nothing in my life compared to my experience of being a father. And having this many kids, there's a couple of things. One, I never doubt what my purpose in life is. It's so clear to me because there's so many small kids with so many immediate needs. My purpose is to take care of them. It's funny, I like to tell friends that I'm so thankful that I don't have to decide how to spend all my time, because I would probably just waste a lot of time. But now it's very clear to me, I'm here to serve this family.
I think the example of our Lord, of Christ, who was a servant and who made the ultimate sacrifice of his life, he showed us, this is what I want you to do. I want you to give of yourselves and keep giving and give everything you have, every drop. Each time I find out that we're having another baby, I'm more excited because I know more what it means and how much of a gift they are. And the first time you hear their heartbeat or you see them on the ultrasound, you just think, who is this person that God is entrusting to me? Because they're so special and they're so amazing. Everything that God makes, it's just incredible.
I always was attracted to large families, even growing up, the family friends that we had from large families, I really enjoyed being around them. So I always thought it was very fun and hoped that I would get the chance to have a large family someday. Children need interaction, they need love, they need support. They need to not be isolated. Even if our children are trying to isolate themselves, they can't do it very long. They're sort of forced into community, which is a wonderful blessing. And I see them growing in the virtues of generosity. When people get hurt, everyone rushes to their aid, and you really see this community forming because of the fact that they have to rely on each other more than they might if they were, say, an only child or in a smaller family.
I had always wanted to be a wife and mother. I have a wonderful mother and had a great family, and I wanted that. So I felt like that was a pretty obvious vocation for me. The
other thing I really love about being a father of so many kids is that I'm never lonely. I'm always surrounded by people that love me. And it's really just amazing to know that this love will continue to blossom and flourish in this community that we're creating in our family. And it's something that will be with me the rest of my life and even continue on after I'm gone. Kids for sure, but also pregnancy. As the husband, I need to react differently to those. Just dealing with a lot that I don't see and I'm not personally experiencing, putting her first and understanding that the happier she is, the happier I'm gonna be.
I like about being in the big family because we have so much playmates. less and a lot more fun. One of our friends, when we lived in our old house, used to say, "You have the happiest house in the block." I'm excited to hold the new baby.
Madeline is our oldest. She's 7, and she is so enthusiastic. She's so energetic and expressive, and she really sees beauty and appreciates it. She loves music, and she has a beautiful singing voice.
Sing a merry, meek and lowly, Virgin Mother, pure and mild. Sing of God's own Son, most holy, who became her little child.
She will notice things out in nature. She's very observant, and will pick up little things even like, in the homily that I missed, and, ask these questions about it.
Our very brother takes our nature by his birth.
Vincent is 5. He is our deep thinker. He's very much in his own head a lot, and he'll be thinking for a while before he responds, and then say something really insightful. He's our tinkerer. He's always messing with stuff, taking it apart, seeing how it works, and really just experiences the world in this really unique fashion where we see, a string, and he sees a myriad of possibilities of what he can do with this string. And you just find him playing these really intricate games where the string is a bridge, or this, he's always inventing things. It's just a joy to watch his brain work.
Augustin is 4, and he's very social. He's a really friendly guy. Will go talk to, anyone on the street, and he's just the life of the party when, everyone's around, having fun, laughing. He just has got to be in on the action, runs over, and he plays with any of the other kids, and he also has conflicts with some of the other kids. But he loves to laugh. He loves to have a big smile on his face.
Genevieve is 3, and she's probably our most independent kid. You'll often see her playing by herself in these imaginary worlds, but she's very sweet. She's our little princess, but she has these little high-pitched voices she likes to use, and she loves animals, she loves babies. Just the other day, she was at the back window talking to the bunny outside. Said, "Oh, little bunny, you're so cute, aren't you, little bunny?" She's really wonderful.
Then there's Anthony, and Anthony's 2, and he is a wild man. He's very silly, very funny. Will just, make these goofy faces and make all the kids laugh, and, it's like he's making jokes, and he's 2, like it's something. But another one that has a lot of energy and enthusiasm.
Carlos, about 10 months now, and he's just the world's sweetest baby. He is just, when he sees people, he just lights up. There's just this real genuine joy in him. One of my favorite things to do is to go fetch him after a nap when he wakes up and he sees you coming in the room, and he's just so excited. You reach out to pick him up, and he throws his arms around you, and he's just a joy. All the kids are in love with him. He's just a real special little guy.
Then we did lose a baby in February, and we named the baby Gianna Maria. And it was very early that I had a miscarriage, so we don't know anything about Gianna other than I know she's in heaven. Just had this incredible peace and joy. She is in heaven, and you're gonna meet her someday. So Gianna's technically number 7, and she's interceding for us. And then we're expecting our 8th in December, around Christmas time. We went through a pretty difficult time. Augustine was 4 months old, and I found out I was pregnant. It was hard for me to handle that news. I felt very overwhelmed. A week before, my older brother and his wife had lost their daughter, and I was questioning, God, why right now, and why us? Shortly after we found out we were expecting, I came across the story of the Marian apparition in Wisconsin. Mary appeared to this Belgian woman, a young woman named Adele Breeze, and she appeared to Adele and she said, I want you to go teach them what they need to know for salvation. And Mary said, do not be afraid. I will help you.
I think that time was kind of a turning point for us in our experience of having a large family. We felt more stretched, felt more embarrassed about what the culture might say or people might say. Yeah, I mean, as the dad, everything is so much more abstract.
One of the most maybe obvious challenging parts of having many children is that they have many needs, and many times those needs are overlapping at the same moment and can get pretty stressful. And many times their needs are overnight and you could be pretty tired. And so I think that it's been a real stretch in my patience and my endurance and my perseverance just to serve.
I think because we have so many kids that are all still so young, the challenge, honestly, is just keeping our sanity as parents, meeting all of their immediate needs, which is a real blessing because we don't have a lot of extra mental space to think really long term or really worry or get anxious about things outside of the day in, day out, keeping kids bathed and fed. Because there's so many young kids with so many needs, we get stretched, we get brought to our breaking point on a regular basis, which is a wonderful blessing, because it's a fertile ground for growth in the spiritual life. It's hard to be prideful when you have this many kids and it's impossible to meet all their needs all the time. So we really have to lean on our faith and know that we can't do this alone. I think people probably don't realize the level of chaos that is in our house, in this big family. It's very loud here most of the time. Oftentimes we'll try to take a video of one kid doing something cute, and then we'll watch the video, and they're just getting drowned out by the sounds of the other 5 children around there. The level of chaos, I think, is probably more than people would expect from the outside, but we love it, and we thrive in that active environment, and it's very fun. Parenting is hard. Having one kid is hard. Having 2 kids is hard. Having 6 kids is hard. So if you're a parent and it's hard, you're not alone. Just because parenting is hard is not a reason to not do it, because it's also so rewarding, so fulfilling, and it changes you. You grow.
It was really hard when I made the decision to stop working in sacred music and to stay home full time with the kids. But it was a really obvious decision because the thing that was suffering was our family prayer life. And I think there's so many examples of saints too who have had a lot of suffering and a lot of challenges in their life. But it's a wonderful life to have so many little children and to serve them.
Prayer feels just like a wonderful gift for our family. With 6 kids, it's very busy, very active, and prayer is really
The rite of marriage, it's more than just a promise, it's a covenant, and it's God's hand is right there with your hands.
Having many kids closely spaced has been a real gift to our marriage as well, and it really highlights what our spouse is putting into this family. It really takes 110% of each of our efforts.
Just sharing the joy of Christ with our kids, we're hoping that then they will have a happy, joyful life and go out into the world and be able to share, that light of Christ with others. With a lot of kids, there has to be a lot of compromise, and it's very natural to think of yourself all the time and to always put yourself first. And so I think just really hammering it in, like, well, what about this person? How do you think they feel? And think of them first.
One of the great blessings of having so many kids is the way that it's shaped us as parents.
Sing a merry, meek and lowly, Virgin Mother, pure and mild. Sing of God's own Son, most holy, who became her little child.
We are the Antonellis, and we are joyfully big.
Mother, God the Lord, who came to earth, Word made flesh, our very brother, takes our nature by his birth.
Are you searching for answers? Discover your true identity. Stay tuned to Shalom World.